The hour of convening having arrived, all members will please take their seats. All members of the House will please report to the floor and take their seats. The clerk will ring the bell. All members of the House will please report to the floor. We're about to have the morning roll call. All members present will please vote green to signify their presence in the chamber, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. Well, good morning. Because we were not sure about our schedule today, and so as not to inconvenience people, we decided to reschedule our chaplain and pages, and the main order of business today is going to be first readers, as I indicated to you last night. But I do think it is important that we begin our day with prayer and the pledge to our flag. So I've asked the chairman of the House Ethics Committee, Chairman Randy Nix, to lead us in prayer and then lead us in the pledge. Doorkeepers will please close the doors and keep them closed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning. I love you. I love every one of you. I may disagree with you. You may disagree with me, but that doesn't stop me from loving you and caring for you. I think that's the best message that we can carry for one another. I think the Lord would be pleased with us, even though we disagree, if we will love one another. I've told several of you my favorite Bible verse is Psalm 51:10, and I use it quite often, and I would share it with you and recommend it to you for use it many, many times. David was under a lot of pressure. There was a lot of things going on that were just really about to defeat him in his life. He had sinned greatly. He had done so much, and the pressure of the Lord was on him. And he had one simple little prayer: create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. And I recommend that verse for you this morning. As we come together after a bruising evening, let's love one another. Let's let us know we're Americans, we're Georgians. We've got so much to be proud of. We serve in a great body. We're in a government where we can have our disagreements. So let's remember that and just ask the Lord to bless each of us and create in us the clean hearts that we need so that we can deal with each other as we should this morning. Let's pray. Father, you've been so good to us in so many ways. And Lord, I thank you for the members of this body. Lord, you have brought us all together for a reason. I don't think there's chance that we're here. And Father, we just pray this morning that you would heal the hurts, that you would bless those who feel broken, that, Lord, that you would just help us come together in your love, that would be the one thing, Lord, that we can be united on. Lord, we pray that you would bless our leadership of both parties. Lord, that you would give them the guidance that they need, that you would give them the knowledge that they need as we seek to serve you. And Lord, we just pray for your Holy Spirit to descend upon us right now and give us every blessing that we need and help us to seek to be a blessing to others. For it's in Christ's name I pray. Amen. Join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, you want to do? You get to do an unofficial.
Yeah, we get to do a picture.
The unofficial chaplain. Hope you get on the right thing now.
Chair recognizes Chairman Darlene Taylor, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits.
Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Information and Audits have read the proceedings of the previous legislative day and found them to be correct.
Chairman Taylor, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? The chair hears none, and the journal is confirmed. The clerk will read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day.
Mr. Burns, on the 59th moves file to be established as the order of business during the first part of the period. Unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of House bills and resolutions. Second reading of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of Senate bills and resolutions. Morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 582 by Representative Mitchell, the 88th bill be titled, an act to amend Chapter 5 of Title 19 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to divorce.
Judiciary.
House Bill 583 by Representative Williams of the 148th and Gamble of the 15th. Bill being titled, an act to amend Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to insurance.
Insurance.
House Bill 584 by Representative Carson of the 46th, Wilkerson of the 38th, Earhart of the 36th, and Ulowitz of the 42nd, Reeves of the 34th, and others. Bill be titled, Act to amend an act changing the compensation of the clerk of the Superior Court.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 585 by Representative Dukes of the 154th. Bill being titled, an act to amend an act creating a Board of Commissioners in and for Miller County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 586 by Representative Abstration of the 104th. Bill being titled, an act to amend Article 9 of Chapter 7 of Title 31, the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to hospice care.
Health and Human Services.
House Bill 587 by Representative Thomas of the 39th, Wilkerson of the 38th, and Allen of the 40th. Bill being titled, an act to incorporate the city of Mableton.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 588 by Representative Gaines, the 117th, Cooper the 43rd, Stevens the 164th, Hawkins the 27th, Dempsey the 13th, and others. Bill being titled, an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 7, Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to the imposition rate computation exemptions from income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 589 by Representative Kirby, the 114th, Pruitt of the 149th, Wiedauer the 119th, Gaines the 117th, Burns the 159th, and others. Bill being titled, an act to amend Article 7 of Chapter 16 of Title 47 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to retirement and death benefits.
Retirement.
House Bill 590 by Representative Petrie of the 166th. Bill being titled, an act to amend an act to provide for a new charter for the city of Tybee Island.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 591 by Representative Petrie of the 166th. Bill being entitled, an act to authorize the governing authority of the city of Tybee Island to levy an excise tax.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Resolution 449 by Representative Donahue of the 30th, Barr of the 103rd, Hawkins of the 27th, Tanner the 9th, Dubnica the 29th, and others. A resolution honoring the Atlanta Falcons and dedicating interchange in their honor.
Transportation.
House Resolution 450 by Representative Nix of the 69th, Smith the 133rd, Trammell the 132nd. A resolution honoring the life of Sergeant Corey E. Spates.
Transportation.
House Resolution 451 by Representative Trammell of the 132nd. A resolution honoring the life of Mr. Jimmy Lassiter.
Transportation.
House Resolution 479 by Representative Chokas, the 138th. A resolution honoring the life of Mrs. Marcy Tarar Massey.
Transportation.
Senate Bill 2 by Senator Gooch of the 51st, Wilkinson of the 50th, Harper of the 7th, Hill of the 4th, Kirk of the 13th, and others. Bill being entitled an act to amend Title 46 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to public utilities.
Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications.
Senate Bill 58 by Senator Karen Shack of the 48th. The bill being entitled an act to amend Code Section 23.3.122 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to investigations by the Attorney General.
Judiciary.
Senate Bill 80 by Senator Lucas of the 26th, Mullis of the 53rd, Hill of the 4th, Jones of the 25th, Kennedy the 18th, and others. Bill being entitled an act to amend Part 10 of Article 7 of Chapter 3 of Title 12 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to the Georgia Music Hall of Fame Authority.
Economic Development and Tourism.
Senate Bill 103 by Senator Davenport of the 44th, Henson the 41st, Harbison the 15th, Anderson the 43rd, Jones the 22nd, and others. A bill being entitled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 3, Title 6 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to powers of local governments.
Transportation.
Senate Bill 108 by Senator Martin of the 9th, Albers of the 56th, Miller of the 49th, Stone of the 23rd, and Kirkpatrick of the 32nd. Bill being entitled an act to amend Part 2 of Article 6, Chapter 2, Title 20 the official code of Georgia annotated relating to competencies and core curriculum.
Education.
Senate Bill 110 by Senator Stone of the 23rd, Gooch of the 51st, Dugan of the 30th, Kennedy the 18th, Miller of the 49th, and others. Bill be entitled an act to amend Title 15 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to courts.
Judiciary.
Senate Bill 121 by Senator Walker of the 20th, Stone of the 23rd, Hofstadler of the 52nd, Burke of the 11th, Unterman of the 45th, and others. Bill be entitled an act to amend Part 2 of Article 2, Chapter 13 of Title 16 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to prescription drug monitoring program.
Judiciary, non-civil.
Senate Bill 131 by Senator Jones, the 25th, Beach, the 21st, Mullis, the 53rd, Harper, the 7th, Brass, the 28th, and others. Bill being entitled an act to amend Title 6, the official code of Georgia annotated relating to aviation.
Rules.
Senate Bill 132 by Senator Harbin of the 16th, Jones, the 25th, and Walker, the 20th. A bill being entitled an act to amend Title 33 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to insurance.
Insurance.
Senate Bill 138 by Senator Martin of the 9th, Mullis of the 53rd, Albers the 56th, Dugan of the 30th, Harper the 7th, and others. Bill being entitled an act to amend the official code of Georgia annotated so as to provide certain benefits to disabled first responders.
Motor vehicles.
Senate Bill 162 by Senator Brass of the 28th, Gooch of the 51st, Dugan of the 30th, Miller of the 49th, Ginn of the 47th, and others. Bill being entitled an act to amend Title 36 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to local government.
Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications.
Senate Bill 163 by Senator Thompson of the 14th, Miller of the 49th, Robertson of the 29th, Gooch of the 51st, and others. A bill being entitled an act to amend Part 14 of Article 6, Chapter 2, of Title 20 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to other educational programs and on the Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
Senate Bill 167 by Senator Brass of the 28th, Kirk of the 13th, Watson the 1st, Unterman of the 45th, and Thompson the 14th. Bill being entitled an act to amend Code Section 15.11.211 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to relative search by defacts.
Juvenile Justice.
Senate Bill 171 by Senator Wilkerson of the 50th, Hufstetler of the 52nd, Ginn of the 47th, Mullis of the 53rd, Gooch of the 51st, and others. Bill be entitled an act to amend Title 15, Chapter 2 of Title 21, and Chapter 5 of Title 48 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to courts.
Governmental Affairs.
Senate Bill 177 by Senator Brass, the 28th, Henson of the 41st, Robertson of the 29th, Anderson of the 43rd, Watson of the 1st, and others. Bill being entitled an act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 28 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to the General Assembly generally.
Legislative and Congressional Reapportionment.
Senate Bill 186 by Senator Cowser of the 46th, Stone of the 23rd, Kennedy the 18th, Red of the 33rd, and Beach of the 21st. Bill being titled an act to amend Chapter 12 of Title 53 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to trusts.
Judiciary.
Senate Bill 190 by Senator Kennedy, the 18th, Ligon of the 3rd, Cowser to the 46th, Albers the 56th, Stone of the 23rd, and others. Bill being titled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 9 of Title 19 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Child Custody Interstate Jurisdiction Act.
Juvenile justice.
Senate Bill 195 by Senator Huffstetler of the 52nd, Burke of the 11th, Kirkpatrick of the 32nd. Bill being titled an act to amend Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to insurance.
Insurance.
Senate Bill 200 by Senator Gooch of the 51st, Beach of the 21st, Ginn of the 47th, Miller of the 49th, Dugan of the 30th, and others. Bill being titled an act to amend Article 4, Chapter 2 of Title 32 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the exercise of power to contract by the Georgia Department of Transportation.
Transportation.
Senate Bill 211 by Senator Harper of the 7th, Wilkinson of the 50th, Black of the 8th, Anderson of the 24th, Walker of the 20th, and others. Bill being titled an act to amend Article 4, Chapter 2, Title 26 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to advertisement and sale of meat generally.
Agriculture and Consumer Affairs.
Senate Bill 212 by Senator Martin of the 9th, Miller of the 49th, and Kirk of the 13th. The bill being titled an act to amend Code Section 4527 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to examination of applicants.
Motor vehicles.
Senate Bill 213 by Senator Heath of the 31st, Kirkpatrick of the 32nd, Stone of the 23rd, Dugan of the 30th, Gooch of the 51st, and others. Bill being titled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 5 of Title 21, the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to campaign contributions.
Governmental Affairs.
Senate Bill 214 by Senator Martin of the 9th, Gooch of the 51st, Wilkinson of the 50th, Dugan of the 30th. Bill being titled an act to amend Chapter 10 of Title 43, the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to barbers and cosmetologists.
Regulated Industries.
Senate Bill 216 by Senator Mullis of the 53rd. A bill being titled an act to amend Chapter 5 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to ad valorem taxation of property.
Ways and Means.
Senate Bill 219 by Senator Jordan of the 6th, Rahman of the 5th, Black of the 8th, Robertson of the 29th, and Williams of the 39th. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 1 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to education.
Education.
Senate Bill 222 by Senator Stone of the 23rd, Miller of the 49th, Cowser of the 46th, Dugan of the 30th, Hill of the 4th, and others. Bill being titled Act to amend Title 17 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to criminal procedure.
Judiciary, Non-Civil.
Senate Bill 225 by Senator Walker of the 20th, Kirk of the 13th, Miller of the 49th, Strickland of the 17th, Tillery of the 19th, and others. Bill being titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 11 of Title 15 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding the Juvenile Code.
Juvenile Justice.
Senate Bill 227 by Senator Martin of the 9th, Henson of the 41st, Dugan of the 30th. Bill being titled an act to amend Code Section 4286 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to special license plates.
Motor Vehicles.
Senate Resolution 67 by Senator Anderson of the 24th, Stone of the 23rd, Miller of the 49th, Dugan of the 30th, Henson of the 41st. A resolution recognizing Senator William Bill S. Jackson.
Transportation.
Senate Resolution 237 by Senator Cowser of the 46th, Huffstetler the 52nd, Dugan of the 30th, Albers the 56th, Jones the 25th, and others. A resolution requesting the United States Congress call a convention under Article 5.
Rules.
Senate Resolution 264 by Senator Mullis of the 53rd, Watson of the 1st, Burke of the 11th, Kirkpatrick of the 32nd, Butler of the 55th, and others. A resolution creating the Joint Emergency Medical Services Study Committee.
Special Rules.
Senate ruled. Senate Resolution 275 by Senator Utterman of the 45th. A resolution creating the Joint Innovation and Emerging Technology Study Committee.
Science and Technology.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 567 by Representative Jones of the 91st, Bennett of the 94th, Kendrick of the 93rd, Mitchell of the 88th, Stevenson of the 90th, and others. A bill relating to limitation on annexation of areas furnished services or included in comprehensive zoning plan by certain counties. House Bill 568 by Representative Wilkerson of the 38th, Kendrick of the 93rd, McLaurin of the 51st, Wilson of the 80th, Moore of the 95th, and others. A bill relating to elections and primaries. House Bill 569 by Representative Fry of the 118th, Smyrie of the 135th, Trammell of the 132nd, Beverly of the 143rd, Hutchinson of the 107th, and others. A bill relating to state government. House Bill 570 by Representative Stevens of the 164th. A bill relating to lottery for education. House Bill 571 by Representative Perkle of the 155th. A bill to provide that future elections of the office of Chief Judge of the Magistrate Court of Ben Hill County shall be nonpartisan elections. House Bill 572 by Representative Perkle of the 155th. A bill to provide that future elections for the office of Probate Judge of Ben Hill County shall be nonpartisan elections. House Bill 573 by Representative Fry of the 118th, Dreyer of the 59th, McLean of the 100th, Alexander of the 66th, Thomas of the 56th, and others. A bill relating to minimum wage law. House Bill 574 by Representative Green of the 151st. A bill to provide a new charter for the city of Dawson. House Bill 575 by Representative Barr of the 103rd, a bill to incorporate the city of Vista Grove into DeKalb County. House Bill 576 by Representative Williams of the 145th, Tanner of the 9th, Carpenter of the 4th, Powell of the 32nd, Montahan of the 17th, a bill relating to courts. House Bill 577 by Representative Cannon of the 58th, Shannon of the 84th, Thomas of the 39th, Robichaud of the 48th, Bodie of the 62nd, and others, a bill relating to labor and industrial relations. House Bill 579 by Representative Paris of the 142nd, Beverly of the 143rd, a bill relating to revenue and taxation. House Bill 580 by Representative Wilson of the 80th, Oliver of the 82nd, Hutchinson of the 107th, Buckner of the 137th, Gardner of the 57th, and others, a bill relating to professions and businesses. House Bill 581 by Representative Dukes of the 154th, Trammell of the 132nd, Chokus of the 138th, Green of the 151st, Hobson of the 153rd, and others, a bill relating to leaves of absences for certain public employees. House Resolution 447 by Representative Kendrick of the 93rd, Thomas of the 56th, Bennett of the 94th, Cannon of the 58th, Dickerson of the 113th, and others. Resolution encouraging the General Assembly to fund a study of the cause of infant and maternal mortality in the state and appoint a commission to propose solutions to the crisis. House Resolution 448 by Representative Cooper of the 43rd, Hatchett of the 150th, House of the 170th, and Martin of the 49th. Resolution creating the Joint Study Committee on the Safe Staffing of Nurses in Georgia. Senate Bill 9 by Senator Jones of the 22nd, Parent of the 42nd, Redd of the 33rd, James of the 35th, Butler of the 55th, and others, a bill relating to invasion of privacy. Senate Bill 29 by Senator Jones of the 22nd, Anderson of the 43rd, Brett of the 33rd, James of the 35th, Butler of the 55th, and others, a bill relating to definitions regarding waiver of immunity from motor vehicle claims. Senate Bill 56 by Senator Hofstetler of the 52nd, Watson of the 1st, Burke of the 11th, Parent of the 42nd, Jackson of the 2nd, and others, a bill relating to insurance. Senate Bill 77 by Senator Mullis of the 53rd, Gooch of the 51st, Miller of the 49th, Duggan of the 30th, Jones of the 25th, and others, a bill relating to state flags, seal, and other symbols. Senate Bill 92 by Senator Beach of the 21st, Brass of the 28th, Martin of the 9th, Robertson of the 29th, Thompson of the 14th, a bill to prohibit professional licensing boards from refusing to issue a license or suspending or revoking the license of a person who is a borrower in default under educational loan issued through the Georgia Higher Education Assistance Corporation or through a federal agency. Senate Bill 95 by Senator Robertson of the 29th, Kirk of the 13th, Brass of the 28th, Albers of the 56th, Miller of the 49th, and others, a bill relating to local government. Senate Bill 104 by Senator Payne of the 54th, Stone of the 23rd, Karen Shack of the 48th, Albers of the 56th, Miller of the 49th, and others, a bill relating to persons authorized to issue order not to resuscitate. Senate Bill 122 by Senator Kennedy of the 18th, Walker of the 3rd of the 20th, Mullis of the 53rd, Butler of the 55th, Hofstetler of the 52nd, and others, a bill relating to motor vehicle franchise practices. Senate Bill 135 by Senator Walker the 3rd of the 20th, Jones of the 25th, Martin of the 9th, Harbin of the 16th, Kirk of the 13th, and others, a bill relating to workers' compensation. Senate Bill 144 by Senator Anderson of the 24th, Miller of the 49th, Mullis of the 53rd, Stone of the 23rd, Cowsert of the 46th, and others, a bill relating to taxes on tobacco products. Senate Bill 146 by Senator Jen of the 47th, Mullis of the 53rd, Jones of the 25th, Beach of the 21st, Miller of the 49th, and others, a bill relating to alcoholic beverages. Senate Bill 161 by Senator Tippins of the 37th, Black of the 8th, Unterman of the 45th, Stone of the 23rd, Albers of the 56th, and others, a bill relating to education. Senate Bill 175 by Senator Black of the 8th, Hofstetler of the 52nd, Robertson of the 29th, Hill of the 4th, Davenport of the 44th, and others, a bill relating to retirement allowances, disability benefits, and spousal benefits. Senate Bill 176 by Senator Black of the 8th, Hofstetler of the 52nd, Robertson of the 29th, Hill of the 4th, Davenport of the 44th, and others, a bill relating to administration of mental health, developmental disabilities, addictive diseases, and other disability services. Senate Bill 183 by Senator Hofstetler of the 52nd, a bill relating to state administration and enforcement of revenue and taxation. Senate Bill 184 by Senator Kirk of the 13th, Burke of the 11th, Watson of the 1st, Kirkpatrick of the 32nd, Mullis of the 53rd, and others, a bill relating to state employees' health insurance plans. Senate Bill 188 by Senator Walker of the 3rd of the 20th, Jones of the 25th, Martin of the 9th, Kirk of the 13th, Harbin of the 16th, bill relating to reinsurance of risks. Senate Bill 202 by Senator Ligon Jr. of the 3rd, Jones of the 25th, Hofstetler of the 52nd, Beach of the 21st, Harper of the 7th, and others, a bill relating to title insurance. Senate Bill 207 by Senator Burke of the 11th, Kirkpatrick of the 32nd, Watson of the 1st, Unterman of the 45th, Kirk of the 13th, and others, a bill relating to the Georgia Board for Physician Workforce. Senate Bill 208 Senator Robertson of the 29th, Albers of the 56th, Harper of the 7th, Mullis of the 53rd, and Duggan of the 30th, a bill relating to cancellation, suspension, and revocation of licenses through second readers.
Reports of standing committees. The clerk will read. There are no reports from standing committees. We're going on to morning orders. Going on to morning orders. Members of the House will come to order and give respect and attention to the members in the well. Chair recognizes Chairman McCall for a morning order. Morning orders will be 2 minutes each this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I forgot that I had asked to do this morning as opposed to yesterday when there was a whole line of people. I just want to let everybody know that one of the largest agricultural supporters in this state passed away a couple of days ago. His name was Mr. Sutherland, who actually was one of the ones that started the National Fairgrounds at Perry. He owned an egg business. He owns one of the biggest renters out at the State Farmers Market. And he was always supportive of Georgia agriculture. And we're going to miss him. And I hope his legacy will get carried on by his family and those of us that knew him. So his funeral will be Monday. There's a visitation, 2 visitations Sunday. So I just want us to remember this great Georgian who was a great agricultural proponent in this state. So thank y'all.
Chair recognizes Representative Stovall for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. As a part-time legislator, we sacrifice many things like time away from our family, businesses, jobs, and personal and our privacy. But we don't mind because we love what we do. On Tuesday, I held a district meeting to discuss my votes at the Capitol, the airport bills, and the upcoming eSPLOST. I expressed my concerns with how the proposed eSPLOST list was created, in which it didn't include cameras for special needs students, which I had been advocating for 3 years. And in the 2009 SPLOST, where there was money that was supposed to be set aside to build a charter middle school, but a magnet school was built. I never said at that meeting that I was against the eSPLOST. The next day, the school superintendent sent out an email to the delegation and board members reprimanding me by stating that I was against the eSPLOST. He called my actions irresponsible, reckless, and should be questioned, highlighted, and corrected, and that such person shouldn't be leading in this community and should be challenged. He stated my request for cameras was minute and trivial, but the most amazing part about it is that the superintendent was not in attendance at my meeting and was receiving secondhand information. However, among over 40 people in attendance, and 3 were affiliated with the school system, who were the board chair, another board member, and an administrator, along with Representative Scott, all of whom know and can attest that at no time did I quote, I was against the eSPLOST. Mr. Speaker, when you gave your remarks recently about your defamation of character, I felt the same hurt. For the highest paid employee earning $347,000 a year, my loyalty to Clayton County, should not be questioned. Nobody in Clayton County, nor at this Capitol, nor in this state, can honestly question my commitment to my county. Even so now, as the school system is getting ready to have a deficit in January. Although he sent an apology, it was a day too late. The Clayton County Public School System Superintendent overstepped his duties, and for the above reasons stated, I am calling for his resignation or the Board of Education to terminate his contract immediately, because they must hold the superintendent accountable in the performance of his duty for not using wisdom. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the way.
Chair recognizes Chairman Belton for a morning order. House will remain in order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know if I can top that, but I did want to. I put on your a piece of paper on your desk today about military-friendly schools. One of the best things about the Speaker's leadership in creating the Military Affairs Working Group is the emphasis that the regions took in the TCSG of trying to up our military presence. As you see on the list, Georgia State, there's two different categories, two different people who rate these best military-friendly schools in America, and Georgia State won number one in one of these, University of Georgia number two, Kennesaw State, Georgia Southern, and then another review, Georgia Southern won number one, which is amazing. Georgia State University did very well in the University of Georgia, and of course the University of North Georgia is one of the finest military institutions in all of America. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Burnow for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning. Today I rise to celebrate the Godiva Chocolate Book Club on their 10th anniversary. These women have formed a bond culturally and spiritually by sharing their knowledge and enthusiasm for reading. Would you please stand and welcome the founders, Dolores Hooks, Eleanor Hooks, Rhonda Hooks, and members of the book club in the gallery. Ladies, would you please stand? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Collins for a morning order.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the House. I come before you today just ecstatic about what's going on back in my hometown of Villa Rica, Georgia. The Villa Rica Wildcats, 50 years ago, the Lady Wildcats basketball team played down in Macon, and they brought home the state championship for the 1969 season. And if you'll look on the boards, you'll see this remarkable group of young ladies who went on to win that state championship, brought it home from Macon tonight 50 years ago. Let's fast forward to 2019 if we can. We got another group of young women who are going to be playing for the state basketball title tonight in Macon. They're 31-0, and you probably saw there was an article on one of the local TV stations, a little video clip about the team, and we're just very excited. Villa Rica hopefully will crown the win tonight, take home the win, and we're looking forward to doing that. Just wanted to say big shout out to my Wildcats. There used to be a mayor there in Villa Rica that termed the mantra, "We are VR." So we're very happy for our Wildcats. Thank you all very much. They play at 6, play in Buford. So tune in and let's watch these young ladies compete. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative McLeod for a morning order.
Thank you, Speaker Alston. Hello, fellow representatives. I stand before you today as a mother and a grandmother, grateful that I had those choices. I'm also smart enough, responsible enough, and strong enough to make my own choices. Can anyone in this chamber tell me of a law that governs a man's reproductive organs? Maybe if we had a law that says that he can't use it on us, then we won't need an anti-abortion bill. Our job, as stated by the Speaker, is to pass a budget for the people of Georgia. Being good stewards of people's money so they can get a return on their investments. Last night, we gave part-time legislators the right and the power to make lifetime decisions for everyone in the state of Georgia. This is disgusting. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Walensky for a morning order.
Thank you, Speaker. Boy Scout Troop 477, can you all stand? Boy Scout Troop 477 is from Dunwoody, Georgia. They've been around since 1972 and has about 140 Eagle Scouts. And last May, they had 15 Eagle Scouts graduate. So let's give them a round of applause to this amazing group. Thank you. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Chairman Dickey for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members. I got some very special people up in the gallery that I want to recognize. I've got some Peach Queens. We've had Little Miss Peach, Sadie Cox and her parents from Camilla. And we have Junior Miss Peach Queen, Lily Caroline Barfield, and her parents from Warren Robbins. So we're just excited about them. And of course, pageant chairman Donna Long is with them too, and I think the great job she does with the pageant. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, girls, for being here, and I hope we have a very peachy year.
The clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions.
Commending the Information Technology Senior Management Forum and recognizing March 9th, 2019 as Information Technology Senior Management Forum Day at the State Capitol. And for other purposes, that completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? The chair hears none and the resolutions are adopted. Please join with me in wishing a happy birthday on Saturday to the chairman of the House Insurance Committee, Chairman Richard Smith. We have no announcements today, except my best wishes that you have a relaxing and pleasant weekend. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader of the House for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Monday, March the 11th, 2019.
The Majority Leader has moved that this House stand adjourned until Monday, March 11 at 10 o'clock a.m. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes have it, and this House will be adjourned until Monday, March 11 at 10 o'clock a.m.